Welcome again to the big match. Tonight, a great match is our main feature. It's West Ham United against the First Division leaders, Manchester United. And also tonight, Wolves against Derby County from the Second Division. And then back to the First for Sunderland against Stoke City. No shortage of goals, high-class football and a good dash of controversy as well. Plus all the latest news from Jim Rosenthal.
As Tottenham crash to their heaviest defeat of the season, Glenn Hoddle scores for the reserves and then says he's ready for a European comeback. Alan Ball retires, he also misses a penalty. And we've got some terrific action from Scotland where the Celtic-Rangers match lives up to everybody's expectations.
But first, it's West Ham against Manchester United, close to a full house at Upton Park, just under 32,000. And out of sight of all those fans, a touching little ceremony. West Ham pride themselves on their loyalty and continuity, and that goes even down to the boot room. And it was there today that Jack Leslie put out the West Ham boots for the last time. Jack retires today at the age of 80. He's a former professional footballer himself. He played for Plymouth Argyle as far back as 1920. He's very popular with the players and with manager John Lyle as well.
Yeah, you'll be grafting, mate.
Yeah. I suppose, you know, we're all very grateful and we've enjoyed it, and it's been marvellous to have you.
Yeah,
I'm sure the lads would echo that. Been a great career, and you know, we'll look back on a lot of happy memories, and that's the important thing. Yeah. If you'd like to go now and get our boots out, we can have a game.
Right.
All right? We won't mind. You've had your glory. Go and get them boots out. One pair for each player.
Well, let's take a check on the two teams, and for West Ham the only doubt concerned midfield player Jeff Pike, who went off injured during the thrilling victory over Stoke in the Milk Cup on Tuesday. But he passed a test on his injured knee today, so with the notable exception of Trevor Brooking, West Ham can be said to be at full strength. Troubles though for Manchester United with Ray Wilkins out with a fractured cheekbone, and then a dilemma today for manager Ron Atkinson. Both his central defenders, Kevin Moran and Gordon McQueen, had to have tests, but both passed them this morning. But then he felt that he couldn't really risk both of them playing today, and with a man like Martin Buchan standing by, well, Martin gets his chance, and it's Gordon McQueen who is left out. And that of course releases Brian Robson into the midfield position. The referee today is Dennis Hedges from Headington in Oxford. So it's West Ham who kick off, attacking the goal to our left, against Manchester United's side, who've not won at Upton Park in their last 10 visits. It's quite a remarkable record, but of course they come here number 1 in the league at the moment, with West Ham lying 5th. Kevin Moran playing it wide here for Mike Duxbury, and right side finding Koppel, and a foul there on Koppel by Alan Devonshire, giving Manchester United the free kick. And for Stapleton, Martin's giving him very little leeway, but Stapleton has kept possession, but Clark has come back. Oh my word, there wasn't much room there, and the crowd are howling that Paul Allen was shoved into the running track and may well have plumped into the side boards there. The upshot of it all is a throw for Manchester United amidst the boos of the crowd, and that'll be taken by Ashley Grimes. Right side. Oh, and that'll fall for Koppel, and driven there. Oh, it very nearly went in. Stapleton almost getting the rebound off Phil Parks. It's a goal kick, and the ball suddenly squirting there to Steve Koppel. And it was a piece of good fortune there for Manchester United, and Parks couldn't hold it, and Stapleton couldn't quite turn it back. With a throw. Quarter of an hour, no score. And here's Clark. Van der Elst has sneaked in on the far side. Oh, Goddard's there as well. Tries something on the turn. Van der Elst gets it back to Pike. Pushed away by Bailey. But they very nearly made something out of nothing there, West Ham. Clark played his part. Goddard tried to turn. That was a nice ball played back by Van der Elst and superbly struck by Pike. Turned away by keeper Gary Bailey. West Ham's corner. Alan Devonshire with it. Alvin Martin advancing from the far side and Billy Bonds. Van der Elst now. Will he get this one on the volley? Will he get it again? Left foot. Clark. No foul. In spite of the howls of the crowd, and the referee, I think, was right. And Bailey's throw finds Whiteside. Grimes outside it. Muren. Now Albiston. Grimes again for United. Albiston playing it in early, and Paul Allen got back for West Ham. Manchester United's throw. United had lost only one league game all season, and that was away to West Bromwich Albion. Muren, deep across this time. And here's Duxbury, who was allowed by West Ham to get in there, and he did well to get his cross in, and Parks had to stretch against Whiteside and concede the corner. But a good piece of work by Mike Duxbury, and a little on the slack side really. West Ham, I think, assuming that that ball was going to go out of play. Well, now they have to face any problems this corner from Koppel might produce. Oh, well, Parks saw that late as it just skimmed the head of Stapleton. Moran, touched by Muren. Van der Elst trying to get Pike on his way. Oh, bad luck by Pike. The calculations weren't quite right, but the intention was excellent, because once Van der Elst had played Pike through, he looked up and thought he would just try and curl it beyond Bailey, but the calculations, as I say, weren't quite right. Stewart in, Pike, Van der Elst. Clark, Goddard, looking to get the finishing touch, and does so! So Paul Goddard scores. Gary Bailey, I fancy, wouldn't be all that happy with it. And West Ham's persistence pays off. A nice touch there by Sandy Clark. Goddard taking it well, nice little bit of headwork. And under the falling body of Bailey to put West Ham into the lead. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0, 32 minutes. Paul Goddard the scorer, the man who many believe is on the verge of something for England, and maybe even in the squad for that match upcoming against Greece. Well, he's done his chances no harm by getting on the score sheet again, and that for the 6th time this season. Also, of course, a great candidate for the match in Greece. Van der Elst, a driving shot, which looked for a moment as though it might finish a long way wide, but in the end didn't leave Gary Bailey an awful lot to spare. At least so it seemed from this angle. Curling away right at the last. Muren again. Koppel operating down that left flank. Oh, my goodness, against the crossbar, and West Ham was so lucky there, and Koppel so dreadfully unlucky. Wasn't sure whether he meant that as a cross in the first place. Don't know whether he did, but if you give him the benefit of the doubt, that was always angling away from Phil Parks, and it just came off the crossbar. Muren almost knocking out his teammate Brian Robson, and now Clark on his way, and saved by Gary Bailey, knocked away by Duxbury, and just as Coppell had hit the crossbar at one end and almost made it 1-1, so West Ham came roaring away and almost made it 2-0. Bailey just getting his hand to that shot from Clark, and as Goddard came in, Duxbury got it away. This is the corner then. Devonshire with it, Martin steaming in there, but didn't make a contact. It came off Moran presumably, and provides West Ham with another corner. About 5 minutes to half time. Jeff Pike will take this one. And it'll come for Devonshire. Now what to do? Oh, and a nice little ball there, but the one back from Goddard wasn't nearly accurate enough. In any case, I think Devonshire had gone offside. It was a lovely and totally unexpected ball that Devonshire played through to find Paul Goddard. That's a good ball there by Muren. Again, Coppell, who's probably causing West Ham more trouble than anybody else in this first half. Albiston, Whiteside, a good ball played there. Played in again, and surely Robson, and he'll be kicking himself for not making more of that opportunity. Very good work involving about 5 United players, and in the end it was Whiteside who turned it back. A little touch in there, and suddenly here's Robson, but he couldn't really get any power in his shot. Stuck out the foot, found Alan Devonshire, who's got support from behind from Lampard. Inside is Goddard. Oh, a lovely ball played by Goddard for Devonshire. Must be number 2. No, it was knocked away at the end by Arnold Muren. What a nice touch there. What a beautiful touch that was by Goddard. And Devonshire coming in, and in the end Muren just got in. So another corner for West Ham. Bonds and Martin up once again. A deep one towards Alvin Martin. And he was the one who was fouled, apparently. A foul on Stapleton gives Manchester United a free kick as we come inside the last minute of the first half. So West Ham get a wall organised, only 3 in it. Goddard, Pike and Allen, joined by Devonshire. That's 4. Robson driving it high into North Bank. And a goal kick. Half-time whistle, and a very good first half indeed. West Ham going in, leading with Paul Goddard's goal, and certainly he won't have done his prospects any harm at all with England and Bobby Robson in mind. And I suppose the other good news for Bobby Robson would be that Steve Coppell seems to be back into his sparkling best form. He's caused West Ham more trouble than anybody else, and of course hit the crossbar to boot. Half-time then here at Upton Park. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. So full value for the West Ham crowd in the first half, and they'll be looking forward eagerly to the start of the second. So Manchester United get the second half underway, attacking the goal to our left, and of course that goal down. Side with a marvellous defensive record, which has done so much for them in these opening weeks of the season. Nice trick there by Stewart. Still only 8 league goals in 11 games. It's work at the other end they've got to do to get back this goal. Well, there's a foul there quite clearly by Buchan on Goddard, and a free kick to West Ham. Stewart with the kick. Alvin Martin up there once again, a tall, menacing figure. Both he and Clark and Billy Bonds were all in there at that one. Pike trying to hold them off, and leading the charge there was Brian Robson. What a good ball it was, played to Coppell, who was the only man who was left up. Now Albiston The momentum's gone out of it a little bit. It enables West Ham to get a few back, but Koppel can always be a danger. Albiston now playing it in early. Billy Bonds getting firmly behind the ball, and United getting a throw. Albiston. And again for Bonds once more to make the clearance, and then Stewart to help it into touch. And the Manchester United manager wanting to be a little nearer the action. Ron Atkinson spent the first half in the director's box, is now on the touchline. Gordon McQueen just behind him, and Remy Moses. Beautifully flighted ball over Muren, and Bonds playing it in for Van der Elst, in turn getting it through to Goddard, and Clark is in there. Handball, was it? Yes, and a penalty given. A real raking move there by West Ham. Applause by Sandy Clark for the decision given. Bonds playing it in. Van der Elst played his part there, and then it became pin table stuff. And somewhere there was a claim for the handball there, presumably by Ashley Grimes. And so Ray Stewart, 3 goals, all from the penalty spot this season. And certainly Gary Bailey will know that the way Ray Stewart hits them, they stay hit. He normally hits them with tremendous power, and now he has the opportunity to put West Ham 2 up and give them some breathing space. So Stewart against Bailey, and it's 2-0. The customary bang from Ray Stewart from the penalty spot, and the customary result as well. 4 out of 4, and putting West Ham 2-0 into the lead. Robson. Well, it will be a great moment for United to get one back. No penalty given there. The referee had a good long hard look at it, I must say. Decided that there was no foul, and Grimes obviously protested far too much. And Grimes will go into the ball. Well, this was the penalty that United claimed. There was a shove maybe outside the box, and he sent Ashley Grimes off. Well, that's sensational. Steve Coppell's having a word with the referee about it. Well, in the first place, it appeared that he was booking him for something he said and arguing about the penalty not being given. Now, whether he continued to argue and that was the reason Dennis Hedges took that action, I don't know. But Ashley Grimes sent off, and Ron Atkinson's team a man down and 2 goals down. Foul by Billy Bonds on Stapleton. Stapleton, now Whiteside. Oh my goodness, how that didn't get swept in by either Stapleton. Well, who was it? Moran going in as well. Stapleton's header down, Whiteside banged it in there, Stapleton and Moran both diving in, but it was wide and a goal kick. Good play by Pike. Allen finding Devonshire, who's got Koppel coming after him, but that pass won't be any good for Clark. Here's Robson again. They've really battled well since they were reduced to 10 men, United. Showing the same competitive spirit that allowed them to come back from 2 down last week against Manchester City, and Koppel's shot pushed away there by Phil Parks. Coppell's been most impressive all afternoon. And Clark's pushing that one on the bounce wide for the corner. Coppell himself will take it. Stapleton, Moran is prepared to launch himself from the far side of the penalty area. You don't have to have me to tell you that Robson is in there somewhere as well, but there's a shove in the back by Whiteside on Allen, right under the eyes of the referee by that near post. Clark somehow getting it down for Pike. Goddard just trying to get in there. Pike might go all the way and makes it 3. Jeff Pike. Well, he rode his luck well, and I suppose couldn't believe it in the end when suddenly the ball's at his feet and Bailey was spread before him. Again, he goes round Bailey and tucks it into the back of the net. Well, it's been quite a week for Jeff Pike. His wife gave birth to a little daughter earlier this week. Their second child, they already had a little boy, and now he probably has just about made it safe for West Ham. 3-0. So Kevin Moran finding Frank Stapleton, and now Whiteside. Well, it wasn't far away. He was thinking all the time, again trying to lift it over Phil Parkes. Good swift move that, and lovely ball played by Stapleton. And he cut inside well, just flicked it. He hoped over Parkes, but sadly for him over the crossbar as well. Takes it up. Oh, inch perfect there for Van der Elst. Played on the game. Oh my goodness, what a goal that would have been. And the crowd are rising and applauding that superb move. And the Belgian Van der Elst almost scored. Oh, what would have been a truly magnificent goal. Just wide. Touchdown nicely there by Whiteside. Bonds under a bit of pressure. There's not away yet there. Buren putting it into space there, and Whiteside's goal is disallowed. He must have been offside as he thrashed that ball past Phil Parkes. Looks certainly there to be, yes, in an offside position. Linesman right. Oh, I don't know. There was Lampard coming in, but the linesman obviously felt that it was offside. Stapleton playing Moran in again, and saved well by Parkes. Moran obviously remembering the goal he scored here last year in a 1-1 draw, and now getting Manchester United the corner with about 3 minutes left. Jump there by Martin. Oh, and a tremendous save by Parkes from Duxbury. That would have crept in just by the post. Caught that brilliantly on the volley, and that would have crept in but for Parkes. And an offside against Clark. Free kick to Manchester United. Oh, and they took it quickly. Whiteside, a bit of quick thinking there, and he might be rewarded. No, he won't, because Martin was there. A little turn there by Allen, but the pass to Van der Elst wasn't all that it might have been. We're into time added on for injuries at the end of what's been a really good afternoon for West Ham, and it may not be over yet. Goddard taunting and teasing Moran and sending Van der Elst in, across the face of the goal, and a goal kick. They've been so positive for most of the afternoon, West Ham, and there's Van der Elst making the overlap. There's Goddard saying, go on, have a bang at that one. And it goes across the face of the goal and just misses the far post. Look at the expression on the face of Van der Elst. So it's Robson. They've really battled away, Manchester United, against the odds, particularly after Ashley Grimes went off. Buren, Whiteside, and that could be a corner. Yes, just coming off the studs of Ray Stewart. Buren with it. Deep one there. Koppel trying to turn it back. And a goal by Kevin Moore. Well, it's got to be no more than a consolation right at the end there for Manchester United, but he scored in this game last year and he's done it again now. Following the corner, a little bit of play here, and good play there by Koppel, well controlled by the big defender and giving Parks no chance to get United on the score sheet. So West Ham 3, Manchester United 1. Almost the last kick of the game. Van der Elst. Final whistle. A great afternoon for West Ham, deserving their victory with the goals by Goddard, Stewart from the penalty spot, and Pike. That late one from Kevin Moran, and the sending off of Ashley Grimes, making it a pretty sad afternoon overall for Manchester United. Final score: West Ham United 3, Manchester United 1.
Well, it was a fine game, and it knocks Manchester United off the top of the table. Liverpool go back, familiar ground for them, to the top, after beating Brighton 3-1. West Ham move up to second, with Manchester United now third, all of them with 22 points, followed by West Brom, Spurs and Manchester City. Well, it was a bad day for Manchester United, and not least for Ashley Grimes. But what about that sending off? Well, the referee, Dennis Hedges, told us later that he sent Grimes off for violent conduct, and Grimes, it seems, just flicked the back of the referee's head with his hand. Of course, there could hardly be a more serious offence than striking a referee, but the FA will have to decide just how serious this particular incident is. But Ashley Grimes, I fear, could be in real trouble. And indeed, as we look at it again, just follow the path of the referee as Robson goes in, and there are claims there for the penalty. Look at the referee. United begin to remonstrate. Watch the number 4 now. Ashley Grimes coming to the picture. He just catches the referee there. Well, you shouldn't do that to a referee, that's for sure. And Dennis Hedges reacts very strongly and very quickly. Ron Atkinson said that he thought that Grimes was just trying to seek to get his attention. He said that Grimes would be disciplined by the club. And the United manager also said that Grimes was so filled with remorse afterwards that he could hardly speak. But Steve Koppel, who is also the chairman of the PFA, had this to say.
Well, I didn't see the incident myself, but I asked the referee why he was sent off. And he said to me that he'd hit him on the back of the head. But
Really?
Yes, that's what he said to me. But I couldn't imagine anybody hitting the referee in front of 30,000 people.
But you were standing very close to it, because I saw you talking to the referee immediately. You saw absolutely...
I just asked the referee, why have you sent him off? And he said he hit me on the back of the head.
There do seem to be, I mean, not for hitting referees on the back of the head, but I mean, there do seem to be an absolute spate of sendings off this season. I mean, as a representative of the PFA, chairman, I mean, what's your view of that now?
Well, obviously we don't like to see so many players go off. I don't think it's good for the game, really. But if that's the price that's got to be paid for more entertaining football, which is what a lot of people think, then I think we've just got to learn to adjust to the new standards. But I don't think it's that entertaining to see 11 men play 10 or even 9, as there has been this season.
What would you like to see happen as chairman of the PFA?
Well, I would like to see everybody get around the same table and just iron out what the problems are. Try and get more consistency in decisions so that not only the referees but the players know what to expect if they commit a certain foul.
I think officials players, managers are all concerned about it because we know it's going through that difficult stage. But as long as we all maintain our beliefs and understand each other's problems, then it'll work itself out. It always does. Only we tend to panic and talk about that as we're doing now. We're talking more about these areas than we are about a marvellous game of football today, and I think that's more important than anything. Certainly there'll always be bad decisions and bad judgments in football from players and officials, but the game is still great, and that was marvellous entertainment today, and that's more important than anything.
Well, the day at Upton Park certainly ended on a touching note. We saw 80-year-old Jack Leslie laying out the Hammers' boots for the last time at the start of the programme. Well, at the end of the day, the players presented him with a farewell card. They had a pretty healthy whip round for him as well, so there are plenty of happy memories for Jack to take into retirement, with our blessing too. Well, Trevor Brooking goes into hospital on Tuesday for a pelvic operation. He tells me he could be out of action for at least 12 weeks. We've got to take a break now, and after it, more goals as Wolves face Derby County, also Sunderland against Stoke City, and all the latest news as well, and that's coming up next. Welcome back, and now we move into the second division for our second game, and it's Wolves up amongst the leaders against Derby County. You've got plenty of problems at the other end of the table. The cameras of Central Television were at Molyneux today. The commentators Peter Brackley. Wolves are in the gold shirts.
Butler faced by Brolly, and then to Palmer, headed out to Matthews, tries the shot, and what a good save too by Steve Cherry. Gloriously driven shot from Mick Matthews. And Steve Cherry just driving it, pushing it over the top. There's Palmer with the cross in. Ball headed out. Matthews sizing up the situation ahead of him. Did well to get in the shot at all. And there's Cherry leaping to deflect the shot. Oh, mistake by McCall. Setting Eaves free. Hibbett forward too. Still Eaves ploughing his way into the area. Has he taken it too far? The referee has given a penalty. The tackle by Foster. He may well have handled it as he went in. Let's just watch the replay here. Originally the mistake by McCall. Eaves setting off for goal. Foster going with it. Foster sliding in, and it certainly appears there at least to have struck his arm. And Jeff Palmer, their regular penalty taker, take the kick. Palmer against Cherry. 1-0. Well, George Foster there just whacking the ball into the net in disgust. He may well feel that the ball struck him on the arm, that he couldn't avoid it. There's the penalty. Well hit by Jeff Palmer just a couple of minutes from half-time. Gray back then to Hibbett. Clark's in the area, so is Matthews arriving. Away by Skivington. Hills lost it to Palmer. No oceans of space for Hibbett on the far side. What a good run by Hibbett, and then for Gray! Marvellous header by Andy Gray. So strong in the air. Diving forward to hit the ball just over the bar. A courageous header by Andy Gray. Ball played in first time by Kenny Hibbett. He spotted Gray coming in, launched himself in the air and over the bar. Hill drifting infield, then to McCall. Didn't find his man. Away comes Matthews. Derby will be stretched here. This is Eaves. Got Gray and Butler in the area. Matthews is there too. In goes Gray! Brilliant goal by Andy Gray. Manager Graham Hawkins leaping off the bench. Well, we were talking about typical Andy Gray headers. That surely was another one. This man is so powerful in the air. Eaves with the donkey work. weaving his way into the area. And Gray on the end of it. A glorious header, well beyond the reach of the goalkeeper. And a good layoff from Wilson. This is McCall coming forward. And away now then goes Wilson. Could be a chance here. And he takes it superbly. 15 minutes into the second half. And Kevin Wilson has had a good match today for Derby, showing his sharpness again up front. With his third goal of the season, breaking clear. McCall knocking the ball into the path of Hill. It was knocked on rather fortunately there too, Wilson. He looked up, sized it well, and into the corner.
And that Wolves penalty apparently given for handball. But 2-1 then to Wolves, and we'll be looking at the top of the second division as a part of Jim's roundup.
Tottenham's 4-0 defeat at Aston Villa was their worst result for more than 50 matches, but tonight they'll be comforted by the recovery of Glenn Hoddle. Hoddle's been out for nearly 2 months and he's worked really hard to recover from a knee injury, including cycling over the hills round the Spurs training ground. Today he scored a super solo goal for the reserves. That's his third match back, and he'll have another one against Southend on Monday. And tonight, Hoddle says he's ready and very keen to play in Wednesday's Cup Winners' Cup tie against Bayern in Munich's Olympic Stadium. That really is a boost for Spurs, who've got to score to survive in Germany. But Bayern have only been beaten twice at home in European competition. And indeed, they had a fine result in the Bundesliga today, beating Stuttgart 4-0, with Rummenigge and Hoeneß getting 2 each. Spurs also hope to have skipper Steve Perryman and defender Graham Roberts available. I know Roberts is bursting to play in Germany. Spurs conceded 3 goals in 5 minutes at Villa, whose neighbours Birmingham brought all their lucky charms to Highbury and then scraped a goalless draw against Arsenal. But a goal spree at Ipswich. West Bromwich Albion, they started the day hoping to go top, and they were very much on the receiving end. Ipswich won 6-1 and John Walk scored 4. He claimed the match ball and doubled his total for the season. An emotional day for Alan Ball, the last of England's World Cup winners in active service. Ball retired after Southampton's game against Everton. He got a superb reception from the fans at the Dell and a hug from the home manager. He was also presented with a trophy and some flowers, but afterwards Alan Ball was too upset to comment. Now he goes to Hong Kong to play with former England skipper Bobby Moore, and then he says he wants to return to management. Despite missing a penalty, Alan Ball leaves on a winning note. Southampton 3, Everton 2, the result. We've got new leaders again in the second division tonight. Sheffield Wednesday, they won 2-0 at Leicester. Queen's Park Rangers second, but only on goal difference. Simon Stainrod's goal beat Bolton. Fulham dropped to third after a 1-1 draw at Crystal Palace. Then Wolves and Grimsby and Leeds both on 23 points. Leeds beat Newcastle 3-1, but the match at Elland Road was stopped for 5 minutes and the players taken off after trouble in the crowd. Kevin Keegan was hit by a missile and needed attention. Referee Malcolm Heath from Stoke will be making a full report to the FA, but both clubs praised his handling of the situation. 3 men sent off, including Joey Jones, making his debut for Chelsea in the 2-1 defeat at Carlisle. And that means 42 players have been sent off in October. Not surprisingly, it makes it the worst month in Football League history. Well, up in Glasgow, I know they were expecting great things from the Old Firm derby. Celtic against Rangers at Parkhead, where the crowd of 64,000 was by far the highest league gate in Britain this season. What a treat they had. Rangers are in blue, and your commentator is Jock Brown.
Swirling in awkwardly, the ball is in the net, and Rangers are in front. Oh, what a dramatic goal. Prince's corner kick, and Bonner appeared to punch it into the net. And here it is again, behind the goal. A great corner kick, swirling in and coming off Bonner and perhaps Mark Reed into the net. Common playing it through the middle. The Rangers defence hesitating. Here's a great chance for Murdo McLeod. McStay following up. Paul McStay in his first Old Firm match makes it 1 apiece. So the ball for Murdo McLeod, a chase through the middle of the Rangers defence hesitated. Jim Stewart did well, spreading himself initially. Ball breaking free, and there goes Paul McStay to pick up his 4th goal of the season. Bet with a free kick. Johnston gets a touch on. Davy Cooper, 2-1 to Rangers.
Well, that was a splendidly engineered goal. Cooper's 7th of the season, all coming from the free kick. Righted into Johnston, beautifully flicked on. There was Cooper, the looping header, and Bonner was stranded. Day so determined. Perfect chance from McGarvey. McGarvey takes the acclaim of the Celtic supporters. 2 apiece, and that's all down to young Paul McStay. He nipped in to win the challenge, sidestepped that challenge from McClellan. The perfect ball into the path of McGarvey, and Stewart had no chance from the shot. Here's McGarvey, Nicholas on the halfway line. Oh, Nicholas dummying McKinnon. Playing it now for McLeod, a great chance for Celtic. Martin McLeod, 3-2 to Celtic. And that was the epitome of masterly play on the break. Watch it again. With a pass for McLeod. Bet couldn't get back to him. The shot was decisive, it was accurate. And McLeod now surely has snatched victory for Celtic.
Well, what a great finish to a classic derby. They'll be talking about that one for years. 3-2 to Celtic, the result. They stay on top. And that's Rangers' first defeat of the season. And both those clubs in action in Europe next week. Rangers against Cologne, and Celtic have got to pull back a couple of goals against the Spanish champions Real Sociedad. Brian.
Well, thank you, Jim. Our final game tonight, and it's Sunderland against Stoke City. And in the crowd at Roker Park this afternoon was the England team manager, Bobby Robson. There he is in the centre there. Let's see what he saw, courtesy of Tyne Tees Television and our commentator, Roger Thames.
A damp, dull day at Roker Park, but every hope of the afternoon should be brightened by the footballing prospect. Sunderland wearing white today, in good form, of course, after that tremendous win in midweek. And Stoke City, who their manager Richie Barker says only once failed to deliver cracking entertainment to the public. It's a tremendous standard to live up to, and here's Sunderland's man in form at the moment. Well, what an effort by Gary Rowell there. 6 goals already this season. He was on target as well in midweek, and straight away showing his confidence in front of goal. Mark Harrison, of course, replaced Peter Fox, suspended after that deliberate handball incident against Luton, and some controversy. Now Gary Rowell, forward from McCoist, did well to find him. McCoist having to wait for the man available. Behind March. Forward towards West, got the header, picked up by Rowell, good tackle by Watson. McCoist couldn't quite follow up though, and it's Bracewell for Stoke City. And away to McElroy, Chamberlain spare if he finds him. This is Chamberlain, and a chance for him to attack the Sunderland defence, fired into the middle, away by Nicol. Oh, and that's a freak goal off Paul Maguire. An absolute freak there, but that won't bother Paul Maguire. 4 minutes gone. Well, what a calamity for Sunderland. Chamberlain given the space and quick to exploit it, fired in really a speculative effort there. Nicol seemed to have it clear, and he just rebounded off Maguire past Turner. Well, Paul Maguire picks up his 4th goal of the season and gives Stoke City the lead, coming up to 5 minutes gone. So I don't think that even in his most optimistic moments that Paul Maguire could really claim that he deliberately intended that, but the end result undeniable. Stoke City take the lead. The offence given, Sunderland kick. High March has gone up, and it looks as though Chisholm will join him deep at the edge of the Stoke City penalty area. Over comes the kick from Nicol. Away by Watson, pumped back by Hindmarch. Harrison was there, in all sorts of trouble, and we've got another free goal, and Pickering will claim it. Oh, 2 Very, very strange goals indeed so far. Pump back in there. The keeper, Mark Harrison, came out, got himself in all sorts of trouble, and it seemed to bounce off him with Pickering challenging, and that goal, I'm sure, will go down to Nick Pickering. Chamberlain couldn't quite reach it. Nicol towards West. And Nicol again. Little flick there for West. Oh, it hit the post. But Gary Rowell was on hand. 2-1 to Sunderland. And Gary Rowell, who really specialises in hovering around there to pick up anything that's going spare. Making up for the disappointment for Colin West, who hit that one, it thundered against the post, and Gary Rowell was there. And now Chamberlain with a chance to break. Sunderland stretched, and that was a wild run by Pickering. And it's Maguire here in oceans of space. Nicol going to close him down now. Here's Maguire still. And good save from Turner. Maguire lining up the shot there, but Chris Turner very alert. Venison not quite really intended. And Hampton can recover. And good close control too from Peter Hampton. Maguire, McElroy. That's a good ball to Chamberlain. Turning and turning again and getting the cross in there. And Maguire but into the side netting. It's a good diagonal run though from Maguire. But again, set up by the trickery of Chamberlain, turning and turning, and eventually hooking the ball through there, but the angle rather too acute for Maguire. West a little flick on, hooked away by Mickey Thomas, but straight to Jimmy Nicol. He tries one, and not far away. Great try by Jimmy Nicol, who's got a fair old shot on him when he cares to let one fly. Richie Barker urging his players there. He was, of course, Alan Durban's assistant at Shrewsbury and then went on to succeed Durban at Stoke City. Pickering picks up the loose one. Away by McCaultrey, but Buckley picks it up. It's fallen again for Pickering. Rowell is there, and just over the top. Certainly a good chance there for Gary Rowell to score his second goal of the game. An excellent cross swung over by Pickering, and Rowell rising to it and just dropping the ball over that bar. Slip there by Nicol. Thomas is looking to exploit the opportunity for Stoke, and he's found Hampton as willing as ever to push forward. Maguire. Mickey Thomas looking for the 1-2, broken up by Chisholm. Now Buckley, tackle in though by Stoke, covering quickly, and McElroy looking to break clear, still with McElroy and Chamberlain, and that's 2-2. And Chamberlain will be delighted with that in front of the England manager, Bobby Robson. But set up by Sammy McElroy, who made his debut for Stoke here at Roker Park. And there's Chamberlain snapping up the half chance. Mark Chamberlain gets his fourth goal of the season to haul Stoke City back on level terms at 2-2 with 24 minutes gone in the second half. There's good control again from Bracewell. And he's found Chamberlain again. Chamberlain again going through his repertoire. Bracewell steamrolling through. Certainly effective though. Bracewell with the cross. O'Callaghan coming in. Away by Nicol. Thomas trying the effort. Maguire little flick, but Turner is down. And Maguire holds his head in his hands. And Turner well positioned as Maguire tried an enterprising little flick.
Well, 2-2 was the final score there. That, at any rate, was one of the score draws as we come to the pools news.
10 others. Numbers 12, 16, 21, 28, 31, 32, 41, 47, 49 and 55. So 11 score draws. The no scores: 1, 25, 34, 39 and 53. Dividends tonight will be average, but make a claim by telephone if you've got 24 points.
Well, that's it for tonight. The next football on ITV comes up on Wednesday night at 10:30. Action from 3 of the top European games of the night. It's on Midweek Sports Special, 10:30 Wednesday. And we leave you tonight with one of West Ham's unsung heroes, Jeff Pike. He rarely makes the headlines, but rarely lets his side down. Last time we were at Upton Park, he scored a lovely goal against Liverpool. Today he repeated it against Manchester United to end a very important week where he also became a father for the second time. Celebration time then for Jeff Pike, and now good night.
And Goddard again, shrugging off Lawrenson, but it's not as easy as that. But he gets it in for all that. Pike! Clark somehow getting it down for Pike. Goddard just trying to get in there. Pike, Michael all the way!